All right, so this week I have been driving the Ineos Grenadier, which obviously is modeled off of the old school Land Rover Defender. Honestly, it looks like a little Hummer from some angles. But all right, so here's from the front, and you probably already know the idea. There was a billionaire, Jim Ratcliffe, who owned a chemical maker called Ineos, still does, and he lamented the passing of the old school Defender. He wanted to make his own, but with some modern touches. This has some modern touches, the headlights being one, some improvements, let's say, on the Defender. Apparently he went to Land Rover, asked them if he could license the design and just build it himself. They said no, but then he figured out that legally he could anyway. So I think there was a lawsuit, and he won. So he found a factory in France. This is built in Hambach, and you can see the French flag there, or the French colors. And he made a deal with BMW to supply the powertrain. So BMW supplies their modern B58 inline six. It's a great motor with a ton of power. You know, it's a little bit boring in my opinion, and it has some drawbacks, but it's definitely reliable and a motor with which you'll never have an issue. So there's some really cool kind of analog features. Unfortunately, no manual transmission, and I think that's a huge bummer. But one of the best things is the key is not a wireless key fob. It's an actual key that goes into the actual ignition, and it's just such a great feeling to start the car. It's so awesome. The doors you really have to manhandle. There's no, G-Wagon slam, but they're pretty good. And the seat is mechanical, it's not electronic, which I think is so good. So good. I hate electronic seats. I don't like key fobs either. And you can see there's a ton of physical buttons. I think they did an amazing job with the interior of this. For everything you need a physical button, there is one. Plus, it looks like an aircraft. Up here are your, auxiliary switches, and you've got your diff locks here, and you've got off-road mode over here. It's just really well done. The cockpit is great. And you do have a screen, but it's not too much. It works pretty seamlessly with Apple CarPlay. You don't even really have to use that. This is the biggest bummer to me. Aside from the fact that it's not a manual transmission, they've got the actual BMW shifter in here, which just looks completely out of place. Like, they could have had an automatic shifter with a ball on top. That would have been great, and you could have one of those pull-up mechanisms. But this, it doesn't look right. I mean, I can't believe they actually built it like that, because it's so instantaneously. Everyone who gets in the car says that doesn't look right at all. But the menu's super intuitive. Everything is so easy to understand. All the controls that you need are on the steering wheel. Sorry, that's the right way to go. And yeah, I mean, I had no problem having no gauges in front of me. The only issue that I have with driving is, and it's a big one, is the steering. That's something hopefully Grenadier can learn from Mercedes on, because I drove the old G-Wagon a bunch, and that was the main thing I didn't love about it. Although somehow with the old G-Wagon and Jeeps, you get used to it, and with this you don't. The steering does not self-center, and it's super annoying. I guess if you're an off-road person, I mean, if you're using it off-road, it's a different thing. By the way, you can put auxiliary lights up here. It's already pre-wired for that, and it's got actual, you know, for real beadlock rims, so you can air down. There's no compressor in the back, but the back opens up like doors, like 2 doors, split. There it is. Which is pretty cool. I would personally prefer to have tailgate seating, but I'm sure that there's some sort of touring reason why you have this. Oh, I probably should close the other one first. I'm not an overlander, obviously. I'm just really more of a commuter who would go camping occasionally, but the steering, back to the steering, it doesn't self-center, and it's just too annoying, especially combined with the fact that it's got a planetary turning radius. I mean, it's just absolutely huge in terms of the turning radius, and I don't love it. I don't love that issue, but it's a pretty fun car to drive if you can get over that. And my wife says it drives like an old army truck, and I think that absolutely nails it in terms of the steering, right? Obviously, acceleration is flawless, but yeah, very cool looking truck. Tomorrow I'm going to trade it in for a Cadillac CT5V Blackwing, but that won't have the utility of this.